can read that. Cool. In just a minute, we will get underway with the new show. Let's see. Alright, let's get alright, cool, that's all good. Let's tell the internet that we're here. Hey, what's going on, man? Let's see. Trying to get things in a row here. Was having some issues with the virtual mixer because I'm dumb as hell. However, through some Discord settings and just some general fuckery that I did, pretty sure we're still good to go. So let's go ahead and start with the dark match. Alright, this is the... Actually, I'm going to go ahead and give you a call now. This is the dark match, so there's no stakes, but this is a good time to make sure the stream sounds good, so... Let me go ahead and get you on the call, and go ahead and start screen sharing with you as well.
Alright.
Ew. Let's see. I'm sure it is like an easy program to work with when I learn it, but basically I was fucking with it for a couple hours today and just didn't get it set up exactly the way I wanted it. So something to mess with later, but I think I can fake it with Discord settings. I'm gonna have it be Goto versus.
Hopefully we can.
Yeah, and a lot of copy. You're hanging out in the chat, so if Gatekeeper's speaking and he sounds low, let me know, because I've got a little bit of room to turn him up as well. And I need to screen share with you, so let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep. Might make it a little easier to call some matches. He's quiet? Okay, that is something I can fix here. Let's see here. Alright, so turned you up a little bit. Let me make sure the Discord I can turn up a lot, so I will do so.
So I'm gonna assume that we're getting started with the dark match.
That's right. Let's see
Alright.
here. So yes, you saw the card that I sent to you, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's basically gonna have all your guys featured, and it's gonna get should be some good matchups. So we're not really officially underway here, but so how's
Yeah,
it?
since we're not officially underway, we will need to talk a little bit more about Def Jam related stuff after everything's over.
Oh, that's totally fine. Like, I mean, and actually, yeah, now's as good a time as any to bring up. We just started the show. Of course, we are co-promoting the Def Jam at CEO events. Sure, Nightbot, once chat gets spinning up, we'll be providing some links to the Matcherino, and that will also point to the Smash GG page of Def Jam at CEO. So be sure to go to that to contribute to the community-funded pot bonus, buy some merch, or if you're going to be at CEO at the end of the month, go ahead and sign up on the Smash GG page. Make sure you get a spot in the bracket.
Yep. You know, assuming JBIII's Twitter posts mean anything, we will at least be on the CEO stream.
Yeah.
So,
I'm very much looking forward to that. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be the first time we've done real two-man booth on the Fire Pro stream. So hopefully that goes well tonight.
all right, Gangrel throwing him up.
Yeah, Gangrel probably best known for his amazing WWF entrance theme.
Yes.
Let's see. Goto just locking him up with that armbar. Still kind of feels like the early phase of this match. A lot of back and forth. Nobody's really got control.
Kind of interesting. Almost 5 minutes into it, and they're just kind of like feeling each other out.
Yeah. I don't know. Both guys maybe just want to take it slow a little bit. Which, hey, certainly can't complain. Can give the audience more wrestling match to watch.
Oh yeah. Gangrel with that low blow though.
Yeah. He shoots him to the ropes and didn't seem to really do much because Goto's still coming out swinging and blocks a suplex, DDTs him right into the mat.
Oh. We got a 2 count.
So it looks like both men starting to turn up the on the gas a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. Uh-oh. Kicking that gut.
No worries, James. Like, this isn't even the ring mat that's going to be used for tonight's show, so I can get the updated version later. This is just a dark match, so we'll be debuting the new custom ring mats for the cross-branded show on the first official match of the night. Ooh, Ushigoroshi from Goto running the ropes and punts Gangrel. Goes for the cover. Nearly gets it.
Yep.
Gangrel still unable to get that Northern Light suplex that he appears to be going for. Goto's got it scouted every step of the way.
Gangrel with a picture-perfect body slam, though.
Yep, and locks on that hold. Trying to slow Goto down, but Goto will not be deterred. Ooh, big flipping senton from Goto, and I know I said earlier there was a lot of back and forth. It wasn't clear who's in control, but it feels like it's been all Goto for the last several minutes. But Gangrel's starting to fight back, but
that's for damn sure.
Just unable to keep any offensive momentum, really.
But you can tell that Goto definitely has a little bit more on the gas than Gangrel does throughout this match.
Oh, most certainly. Oh, hello, Gangrel getting a cover and getting a 2 count out of it. Ooh, goes for a big boot. Goto doesn't even go down.
No selling the big boot.
So Gangrel once again just trying to lock on that sleeper hold, just trying to slow the big man down because Goto's firing on all cylinders and Gangrel's really yet to get started.
You know, choke him out, try to gas him, get him on his pace.
Yeah, that's got to be the strategy here, but hasn't seemed to have been enough thus far.
Yeah, Goto isn't having any of it. Gangrel just landing them knuckles, though, straight to the head.
Does hit another one of those big body slams. Going to some really elementary, really basic offense, but it's what he's able to get through, so he's in a very much a beggars can't be choosers situation.
I mean, at the end of the day, fundamentals are what matter. And, you know, as long as you get your fundamentals down, you know, some simple wrestling moves can take you the whole way.
Yeah. Back to back power slams. And that's something that Gangrel definitely needed. Ooh, rolling heel kick too, and that's put Goto onto the mat. Going to that high orange Gatorade district. Goto powering out of it.
Seeing that reversal, going for that dive. Gangrel waking up dazed.
And an Olympic slam to the floor.
Goto taking a breather.
Once again, Goto just powering out of everything Gangrel tries to do. Another big kick.
It's like something we've seen during that match is, you know, Goto, while he was putting on a show for the crowd, he definitely had a strategy in place. He came there to win it.
Oh, absolutely. And Gangrel just unable to get anything really going. He got some, as you said, some fundamental holds, and they were reasonably effective, but couldn't get any big moves in. Goto was just shutting him down every step of the way. But I believe that is going to do it for the dark match. So let's go ahead and get into the real show. Let's switch the stage to, let's see.
Did you make a Twitter post by chance?
I did. It should be up. Let's find out. Really, I just need to hook up my Twitter to my Twitch so it does it for me. But let's see.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, I retweeted it to see if I could
Appreciate it.
get people in here.
All right. Let's see. There is something I forgot to do when I cut to the match card that's going to cut your voice audio, so I'll let you know when I'm doing that. But yeah, welcome to everybody in the chat and everybody starting to file into the stream. We are starting the first ever official cross-promotional event, Blake's House Wrestling versus Judgment Pro Wrestling. Now, Blake's House has been under siege from Judgment Pro Wrestling for the past several weeks. We've decided we're going to settle this in the ring. It's going to be Blake's House and Judgment Pro Wrestling. So, GK, if you want to maybe introduce yourself to the stream and we can get this show on the road.
I mean, everyone knows who I am. I'm JBIII, the man in charge of Judgment Pro Wrestling, here on commentary to please all the viewers, show them some real-ass wrestling between two companies. So, that's really all I got to say on the matter. We're going to put it all out there, and that's going to speak for itself.
All right, of course, we do have a stacked card for you tonight. It's going to be a lot of excellent matchups. I think of course, the one officially announced matchup, it is going to be promoter versus promoter. Princler versus JBIII in the main event of tonight's contest, but that is not going to be the only match, as it is going to be a Blake's House wrestler and a Judgment Pro Wrestling wrestler in every single match on the card tonight. So let's go ahead and get this started with the first official matchup. Yeah, unfortunately, that is just distortion from Discord, where It might be both things if that's the case, because like definitely I know my audio comes in a lot more clear than anything over Discord, and there's literally nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, could be both.
Yeah. But yeah, I submitted the proposed matchups to you. As best I can tell, that's going to be the matchups we're going with. So, we have John Newton, who we have seen in a Blake's House ring at least once before, I believe in the big Judgment Pro Wrestling Battle Royal, if I'm not mistaken. And he is going to be facing the freshly returning from injury Zero Lopez. Hopefully those bruised ribs are going to be okay for him to compete into this match. But let's find out exactly how he does against Judgment Pro Wrestling's own John Newton.
Some of the Blake's House crowd doing their mans.
Well, it was, of course, James Holloway that put Zero Lopez on the shelf for several weeks with that Persona 450 of his. And we can hear new theme music, Zero Lopez coming out in his return. That theme music, of course, produced by Maglo, who you will be seeing wrestle later on tonight. But, JB3, why don't you tell me a little bit about John Newton, about your wrestlers coming into this onto this show tonight?
So, John Newton, he's the no-nonsense guy. Doesn't take shit from anybody. Bit of a drinker. Reminiscent of certain people you might know in other wrestling orgs, but I can promise you that while he took a lot from them, he is definitely his own man in this.
All right, and we've seen enough of Zero Lopez and his signature style that combines a lot of different mixed wrestling techniques. Like, he can come at you from the air, he can come at you with more of a traditional grappling strategy. Like, he can come at you from a lot of different ways, so it's going to be a challenge for John Newton to just overcome Zero's ability to adapt.
Yeah, John Newton's ability simply comes from a lot of rough attacks. You're gonna see some dirty strikes, like you'll see some mud holes being stomped in people. And we'll see how much brute force Zero can actually take.
All right, well, that is going to set the stage for tonight's contest, and right now it's a little bit of a feeling out process of John Newton slamming Zero to the floor, and he's going to hold the center of the ring all to himself.
Smart man, keeping his breath well while the other man has to work his way in to get to him.
Yeah, and really, he's been making it very difficult for Zero to get started so far. Quite literally beating him to the punch on several occasions. And I suppose for people at home, once again, Lado Copy sponsoring the show and providing custom ring mats. This time promoting the cross-brand show, Blake's House Wrestling versus JPW, as John Newton stretching Zero out right over the BHW logo. And he gets a cover. Count 2 out of it.
It's a pretty early 2 count, so definitely have to see that the bit of damage that he's doing early is actually making an impact.
Yeah, it would appear to be the case. Ooh, big elbow drop from Newton, pulling Zero to the center of the ring. And it has been all John Newton for the past several minutes. Zero just having a great deal of trouble getting anything going. Ooh, there, big sit-out facebuster. But Newton immediately to his feet. Zero hitting Newton with that freaky magic that we have seen Knock Valdo employ. Ooh, back switch from Zero. Stroke right onto the JPW logo. It is this time a JPW wrestler getting stretched on his own logo. But immediately breaks the hold.
Ooh. Russian leg sweep.
Zero is out on his feet. Oh, sidesteps that clothesline, but Newton then sidestepping the double leg. Zero unable to keep John Newton down for any kind of sustained offense. And it looks like it is all Newton thus far. Big vertical.
Big ol' suplex.
Yep, goes straight into mounted punches.
Literally just wearing Zero down. Like I said, a lot of roughhousing from John Newton.
Yeah. Like Zero can come at you from a lot of different ways, but so far Newton's been able to shut it all down.
It's like we've seen an elbow to a jab to the face.
Yeah, and even that surprise roll-up really only able to get a 1 count.
Zero maybe looking a little desperate with the roll-up.
And it's possible he rushed his return from injury, but don't want to make excuses for the man. Like, he's stepped into the same ring as everybody else. He's got to fight his way through this match. And still unable to hit that double leg. Big step up enziguri from Zero. It looks like Zero's finally starting to get things going, but Newton still to his feet before Zero can hit whatever he wants to hit springboard off the ropes.
Ooh. Kicked him in the face. It's just like, nah, we're not having any of that.
Zero locking on that scarf hold after that neck breaker. But once again, Newton able to break the hold relatively quickly. There's that Zero kick rush, one of Zero Lopez's signature holds, and finally hits that elbow off the ropes he's been fishing for so long. Sling blade right in the center. Moonsault fall 1, 2. Only 2.
Oh, we're going for that sit-down pile driver? Yep.
Yeah, Newton responding back with a simple but effective pile driver. And gets 2.9 out of it. Zero finally starting to showcase his technical abilities. Getting those back switches. Destino! But Newton immediately to his feet. And this contest is looking a little bit more even.
Yeah, took Zero till the late game, but, you know.
Yeah, certainly.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess the two men are just going to
Backdrop.
brawl on the outside. And from what you told me about John Newton, getting into a brawl against him is got to be a mistake.
Agreed, but when it's forced upon you, it can't be helped.
And both men just... This is an absolute slugfest. Once again, Zero going for that surprise roll-up and nearly getting it. But still not enough.
Another Russian leg sweep.
Zero, that enziguri throwback right into the side of the head. But once again, Newton to his feet before Zero can get that elbow drop that he's been trying to hit all match. And really only gotten a couple of times. Gotta figure Zero is just waiting to hit that Puerto Rican destroyer that he's known for, but Newton is not letting him get any big moves off, really. Ooh, big super kick. Zero pulling Newton nearer to the center of the ring. Looks like he's going up top for something. Dive kick right to the back of the head. Newton totally unable to protect himself. Another super kick, but finally Newton breaks up that offensive effort. Harada's down. Anything goes for the next several seconds till Harada can get back to his feet. Big pop-up cutter, but Newton once again to his feet first. As he folds Zero up onto the mat. Oh, GK, you still there? It's like you're okay. Yeah, you just wanted to make sure.
It's just
a lot is happening in the ring right now.
Well, the feed is a little rough.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, like, if you just want to be, like, the color guy and just, like, kind of talk up your own guys and not do, like, play-by-play live, that's totally cool.
Yeah, I'm doing more of that. If I see things, like, I'll call it, but...
Okay. So, once again, Zero hitting with the Sling Blade. And Newton, big spine buster. Newton now going up top. Diving elbow square into the stomach. Those ribs that Holloway injured earlier this month. But Zero is fighting his way back. It's possible Zero was going for that Puerto Rican destroyer, but it was blocked. John Newton continuing to just use those rough lariats, elbows, anything he can to keep Zero down in this matchup. And once again, that Puerto Rican destroyer blocked by John Newton. And we are having another slugfest. And once again, Zero challenging Newton to a puncher's battle, and it does not go in his favor. Ooh, big jumping pile driver right onto the chair. That's got to be it. And John Newton with that spike pile driver right onto the chair that he brought into the ring earlier. And that was enough to put Zero away. And Judgment Pro Wrestling will start tonight's show with a victory.
Like we said, you know, John Newton is a rough dude. And when all the chips are put down on the table, he's not afraid to do what he needs to do to win it. And, I mean, you've seen it there. Pile driver square onto the chair. I'm like, that'll take just about anybody out.
Yep. Credit to Zero coming back from injury. It was a valiant effort. He put on a great match, but it just wasn't enough to take out John Newton. So we are going to move on to a slightly different matchup here. We are going to go into some SWA rules action. course, it is going to be our newest competitor in the Blake's House ring. Drew Serpa, of course, has several years of amateur wrestling experience, and we are going to see how he fares against the technician. That is Frank Vista.
Yep, Frank Vista, the picture-perfect slideshow. So many transitions, you won't know what to do with yourself. But the man, if he gets what he needs out of those transitions, the links are devastating.
Well, this is going to be probably one of the more interesting matchups that Frank Vista could partake in, just because he is wrestling against an amateur wrestler. So both of them want to go to the mat. Both of them want to take each other's backs. It is going to be a clash of styles that are really going to complement one another. And I see Drew's partner Antonio in the crowd cheering his tag team partner on. Let's see how well Drew can handle himself one-on-one against Frank Vista. Ooh, big rolling knife edge chop. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of similar offense from both of these men, both of them going for the double legs, going for back switches, suplexes, and those MMA transitions.
Agreed.
I think both competitors have pulled out that gut wrench suplex, trying to slam one another to the mat. But Vista getting to his feet and kicking out immediately off of those roll-ups. And Drew putting it all on the table with that dive, and it was just sidestepped easily by Frank Vista.
Frank Vista, while the technician, also a bit of a show-off, trying to throw people against the ropes, maybe force them to run out of breath, but depends on if their opponent will play around long enough.
Yeah, well, right now he's showing that he's a fairly accomplished striker, going for those gut punches and those repeated European uppercuts. And once again, sidestepping that double leg takedown, not letting Drew hit that double leg, but he does get the back switch, but doesn't really get anything out of it. And Drew just absolutely suffocating the technician in every sense of the word. That being said, Vista has been showing signs of life. Those strikes that have been slowing Drew down, I think that's the key to him staying alive at this phase of the match until he can get his own offensive in. Drew responding back with a European uppercut of his own. Oh, here's some of those transitional moves that we were talking about. Vista getting the upper hand and getting a big suplex into the corner. So expect to see a lot of that over the course of this match. And Drew now returning the favor, answering back with a double leg, getting the mount of his own, and lifting and dropping the technician onto his neck, showing, hey, I can do this too. That back elbow just having Drew crumble as he hits a double leg. Drew getting the back. And big suplex from Drew. It's 2.9, but Vista to his feet first. Drew unable to put Frank Vista away. Ooh, big backdrop. And Mario will start his count for the first time in tonight's match. And once again, I don't think anyone has successfully gotten any offense from that mount position. It's been reversed every single time. And this time, the technician Frank Vista getting a 2.9, nearly putting Drew away.
Off one of his signature holds, actually.
And
the scariest thing about the technician is his German suplex game. If he starts to land anything that resembles it, expect a lot of damage.
I certainly expect a wrestler to have devastating suplexes, and that Uranagi has put Drew on the mat for Mario's count.
Technician taking a huge breather.
Yeah, getting the count going up to 8. Ooh, flash roll up from Drew, but it was in the ropes. And that's going to be the end of round 1.
Yeah, that was the round.
So I don't know how you had that on your scorecard. It looked pretty even near the end of that round.
Both men getting 2.9s. Both men landing transitions left and right.
Once again, Drew dropped on his head and Mario forced to start the count. He's able to get to his feet, this time a little earlier than the last round.
Yeah, but that time does not bode well regardless. Because that was a 7-second at the beginning of the round. If it happens again, it might be over.
That is certainly a possibility. And now it looks like Frank Vista, he taps out Drew with that knee bar out of nowhere from that MMA transition. Something that he is so very accomplished in doing. And I think when you put it best, like, Drew getting dazed so early at the start of round 2 really set up Frank Vista to lock on that knee bar, and Drew was unable to break the hold.
I mean, it came down to a couple of factors. Like, yeah, that first knockdown was major because during that, you seen Frank Vista, he was just standing over there catching a breather even after the break he already had. So he was, I wouldn't say fresh, but he was as close as he could be after that count happened. And at that point, it just kind of came down to if Drew couldn't get any offense in, Frank had the upper hand.
Yeah, that was certainly the case, with Drew getting submitted early into the second round of that match. So that is going to be 2 victories to 0 for Judgment Pro Wrestling at the start of this show. So we're going to switch things up a bit, bring in a wrestler that we have not seen a lot of on Blake's House TV. Of course, I am talking about PJ King of Games. Hopefully able to get the first win of tonight's show, and he will be doing so against JJ Mondo of Judgment Pro Wrestling. So let's go ahead and get into this match and start kind of going over the tail of the tape as we go into their entrances. PJ, very well known in the Blake's House community. He's accomplished in nearly everything he has put his mind to. They call him the King of Games because in any sort of contest, he's got a damn good chance of taking it, but thus far that has not translated to the wrestling world. So let's see if he can get the explosive victory that we know he is capable of tonight against Judgment Pro Wrestling's own JJ Mondo.
JJ Mondo, a classic at Blake's House at this point. Y'all know him. the man with the metal arms and the big old gut, actually beat Maglo in an open challenge, was a tag team champ holder at one point. And, you know, what to expect from him. Lots of throws and definitely some wailing on him by those arms.
And he comes out swinging with those metal arms of his, landing a left and a right in combination. And he is starting out strong against PJ King of Games. And big belly-to-belly overhead suplex just launching PJ out of the ring. JJ has come here to fight and come here to win.
I mean, JJ here, you know, been a representative of JPW at Blake's house for a while, and he's trying to prove that we are the best for a reason.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, JJ very well known. He has held championships in Blake's house. So getting another victory here over PJ King of Games would certainly do well to establish his dominance in this organization. But PJ is not going to make that easy on him. That being said, JJ just throwing those metal arms around, not letting PJ really get anything started, literally beating him to the punch time and time again. PJ finally hitting that double arm DDT, and let's see if he can get something started now. JJ getting to 5 out of a possible 10 punches, but PJ rolling out of the way of that diving elbow and gets a kick square in the face as the two men battle it out. PJ able to get to his feet first, and the cover possibly out of desperation, but getting a 1 out of it. Kind of just checking to make sure that JJ is still there. And it looks like PJ's finally woken up. He's been getting move after move after a really rough start, getting just out-punched for the first several minutes of this match. But here comes JJ to try and slow that down.
Both men getting caught up in the ropes a lot, though.
Yeah, it could be partly to either both men being a little bit overeager to get their shit in, as it were, that they're maybe less aware of their surroundings, or possibly just disregarding that entirely and just trying to get damage in where you can because they know the other man's not going to let them just take the fight where they want to take it. JJ putting PJ up into that high blue Gatorade district, but PJ responding back with a Shiranui off the top. And missile dropkick right into the face, but JJ to his feet. He is undeterred. JJ once again going up top, and now it looks like he's going to dive onto PJ with that big double axe handle right into the back of the head.
Those metal elbows hitting him right in the back of the head.
Yeah, that is gotta be absolutely brutal. You can't even protect yourself from a shot from that angle. Ooh, big picture perfect dropkick square into the chest of JJ Mondo, but PJ is looking a little bit dazed. It could be that sustained damage that he's been taking from those metal arm shots to the head have really worn him down.
PJ's still seeming to land a lot of his aerial game plan. All the same, though. Ooh. That's gotta hurt.
It's gotta hurt, but it wasn't quite enough. It was roll-up combination. And that gets a 2.9 from Harada as well. This is anybody's match now. Ooh, big float over DDT from PJ King of Games. And once again goes for the stroke, but JJ to his feet immediately, so PJ's going to plant him back down. Possible that PJ was trying to set him up something with that that roll-up. Ooh, this time locks on the crossface. That's got to be it. No. JJ refusing to submit. And I believe that was PJ hitting JJ Mondo with his own signature hold.
Yeah, it was actually his finisher, the backstop that he stole from him.
PJ clearly aware of the stakes of this contest. But
JJ getting winded, though.
Ooh. Precision haymaker right into the face of PJ King of Games. And despite hitting several big moves, JJ has not stayed down long enough to be pinned or submitted. He's still in this fight very much.
Both men going at it.
So Sloth, appreciate you coming in. This is Blake's House Wrestling against Judgment Pro Wrestling. JPW is currently 2 victories to 0 over Blake's House. So the stakes of this contest in particular are very dire, as Blake's House needs a win, and needs a win now, but JJ Mondo refusing to make that easy on PJ. Big neck breaker from JJ. PJ not letting JJ Mondo get anything out of there, but just as I say that, PJ barely able to kick out. And JJ responding back with another backbreaker. And this time, that will do it. PJ King of Games is pinned by JJ Mondo.
Yep. JJ landed the backstop into his signature elbow drop finish.
And PJ, despite being the king of games in all walks of life, still yet to really find himself in professional wrestling. I'm sure we will be seeing more from him as Blake's House continues to develop. I'm sure he will develop more as a wrestler, but thus far he's really just been unable to get anything going on Blake's House TV. So credit to JJ for getting the victory. So let's once again go on to something a little bit different. I believe we've got 2 competitors that are known for their very unorthodox styles. So we are going Landmine Deathmatch. That is going to be David Clement, Robert Walsh, in an absolutely knockdown, drag-out contest. So let's go ahead and get this match going right now. So we have seen a little bit of both of these guys. David, of course, famously challenged for the tag team titles. Robert Walsh, been in a couple Maglo Battle Royals, but we haven't seen too much of him otherwise. So if you want to go ahead and let us know kind of what the story is with Robert as we go into this contest.
Yep. So, I mean, Robert is a student of Mick Foley. Man took a lot of lessons from him. So this match is heavily going to benefit him because of the rough, gritty style that you're going to see. In fact, we're already seeing it here. He's already bled his opponent. He knows exactly what to do with the tools of the trade. He likes to bite people open. You know, you're going to see them pump handles. And, I mean, there's not too much more to say other than expect to see a lot of Foley-inspired entertainment here because the man took it and tried to make it his own.
Oh, David nearly slammed into the landmines on the outside. What I do want to say really quick, though, I wouldn't say that Robert is at an advantage in this contest, as we have seen David pull out the Poison Mist, pull out sickles from seemingly out of nowhere to use in his own matches. If there is anyone that can go toe-to-toe with a rough competitor, it is going to be David. And that is what makes this matchup in particular so interesting.
Couldn't have said that better. It's just, we all know Foley loved these types of matches, so he makes sure that his students know what they gotta do here.
Well, Robert has certainly been off to a very strong start. Of course, making David bleed very early in this contest and really just shutting David down at every step. Both men just going into those light tubes. David just throwing himself into the light tubes, possibly trying to get himself amped up for this matchup. But gotta question the strategy of it, as he is so behind in this match, at least if we were going to score this on a formal scorecard.
Oh, Harada's down, not that it matters.
And David hitting that pop-up power bomb, but Harada unable to make the count.
Well, maybe it did.
And there's that throwback enziguri that David is so well known for. And David now stealing a signature hold of Robert, going for that mandible claw.
Robert breaking out of his own move, though. He knows the tool. He knows what to do.
It seems to be somewhat, very much a pattern of when Blake's House and Judgment Pro Wrestling go head-to-head. As it seems, in general, the Blake's House competitors are more focused on putting on a show than going for the win, and that using their opponent's signature hold, while very entertaining, is not necessarily conducive to getting the victory in this contest. That being said, David...
I wouldn't say that the JPW wrestlers don't put on a damn good show, but you could also call it disrespectful to steal an opponent's move.
That is certainly one way to look at it. Oh, getting a 2 count off of that Tiger Driver. And now it is David who's going to go for a weapon here.
Well, it's definitely that type of match. If there's any time for it, it'd be now.
David with that big delayed atomic drop. But David once again shoved right into those light tubes. And that is this kind of match. As you said, it's foreign objects. It is light tubes. No one has been thrown to the outside with the landmines just yet, but you've got to figure that is coming. Ooh,
This
big.
match goes on long enough, you know that's where it's going.
Although Robert trying to keep that from being the case. He wants to end it right now, but David able to kick out. Another big stump puller pile driver. Robert just trying to put David away.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care who you are. You could be a hardcore legend. Nobody wants to get thrown into those.
And David with a pile driver of his own. Stacks him up. 1, 2. No, it's not enough.
That's a 2.9. Both men are close.
Ooh, big suplex into the center of the ring. But David able to get to his feet before Robert can capitalize, and the two men are just going to battle it out right in the center. There's that Enziguri throwback, and David once again going to those international objects, and it's going to put Robert right onto the ground, swinging wildly, unable to find its mark as Robert sidesteps and hits him with a jab, forcing him to drop the weapon.
Robert's being extremely intelligent with his strikes. He's been going for the head a lot after he busted his opponent open.
Thus far, it hasn't been an issue for David, but it's eventually all that blood he's losing is going to be a major factor. Hopefully for him, he can end this match before that's the case, but Robert is certainly not making that easy. Ooh, big double leg out of nowhere, and David going for those mounted punches, and it looks like David able to submit Robert with mounted punches, getting the first win for Blake's House tonight in a hardcore match. It was hardcore wrestler versus hardcore wrestler. The match didn't even go to the outside, but we saw a lot of light tubes, baseball bats, and kendo sticks, so the folks at home looking for a hardcore match certainly got one.
Agreed. Don't forget about the gratuitous amounts of blood.
Yeah, with Robert busting David open less than a minute into this contest. And David able to get Blake's House on the board. So let's go ahead and jump back to some standard wrestling matches, as we do have a lot of those to put on tonight. And I see you're coming into the chat, Nick. What is your status as far as doing guest commentary later on tonight? While you are figuring that out, I'm going to go ahead and cue this match up. Is, of course, the tag team champions. That is Worzalla and Sterling. And they are going against the Firm.
Ah, yes. The professionals for hire.
Mr. Smith, Mr. Adams, against Worzalla and Sterling. So let's go ahead and get into that match now. And
it's like, and we all know what the Firm's about. They've been around Blake's House a little bit. They've come in. They've been disruptive at times. They've won some tag matches. And overall, you expect just raw power from these guys.
Yep, and of course, Sterling and Worzalla don't need a great deal of introduction. They are, of course, the current tag team champions, although they have been on a bit of a losing streak as they lost their return match to the Slam Channel 5, as they have said they would like to be known. But, of course, they do hold Blake's House gold. They are going to be threats in any contest you put them in. So let's see how they handle themselves against the professionals for hire, the Firm. Worzalla unable to sidestep that shoulder tackle. Worzalla going for an early cover, as he is known to do. Like, Worzalla is very similar to a Brock Lesnar in the sense that he would like his matches to be over quickly if possible. And he certainly has the power to do it.
Tagging the other member of the firm in. Let's see what they got.
Worzalla winding up that patented elbow drop, but his opponent able to get to his feet. Sandwich lariat's going to put him on the mat, however.
Oof.
Hey, new kid.
Sterling with a headbutt of his own. Both Sterling and Worzalla known to deliver headbutts to their opponents. Both of them, of course, training under the Yokozuna E Honda, which is why you have seen those chops to the chest and headbutts from them so frequently. Hey, no, don't, like, it's cool he wants to, like, come into the chat and make suggestions. You don't need to, like, get hostile about it. So, just to be clear, I am not going to attempt to pronounce your username. Just to be clear, so I don't do promoter mode because I can book matches in standard exhibition and just have my own stories that way. And it is easier to put on a show without worrying about, does the algorithm say my show is profitable? Does the algorithm say that somebody just doesn't show up to my wrestling show because they got caught for a drunken disorderly and are spending the weekend in jail? So that is why I'm running my show the way I'm running it. And as far as speed goes, like, that is just a matter of preference, and I think the game runs pretty well at the default speed.
Oh, it definitely does. It allows for a little bit more color commentary during the actual match itself.
Yeah, it's definitely at this pace, it's much easier to call. And it would be literally impossible for you to call over screen share with 1.5 speed. Because it's already hard to call because I know you're on a delay. So we've had a bit of a diversion, and during that diversion, the firm has gotten the upper hand against Worzalla.
Double power bomb from the group.
Worzalla
They're gonna go in.
Worzalla once again attempting to hit that running elbow drop that he's so well known for, but once again denied the opportunity. Looks like Worzalla scrambling back to his own corner, bringing Sterling into this match. And now going for a double power bomb as Sterling transitions into a stretch muffler in his own corner.
Not a good look for Mr. Adams, but I'm sure he'll make it back to his corner when he needs to get there.
Ooh, big shotgun dropkick. Looks like Sterling has no intention of letting him get there. Oh, Mr. Adams finally able to sidestep Sterling, and Sterling unable to cut him off, just as I say he was going to prevent him from doing so. Sterling once again going to that neck figure four, something we've seen in every single one of his matches. He's of course definitely a threat to submit somebody with that. And he's just targeting the neck and the legs of his opponent, just trying to disable them. Trying to take away their power, take away their breath. But Mr. Smith responding back by working the leg as well.
A nice spine buster.
Sterling responding back with that Ushigoroshi. And a falling fist right into the gut of Mr. Smith. And Sterling setting Worzalla up for that elbow drop hold. 1, 2. And that was nearly it. That was excellent teamwork by Sterling and Worzalla, but the firm responding back with great teamwork of their own. As Mr. Smith delivers that tackle and retreats to his own corner while Worzalla is out on his feet.
Mr. Adams back in the ring. Oh, setting up for something.
Whatever it was, Worzalla not allowing it to happen, but both men are just down on the ground. Worzalla able to get to his feet first. Big claw slam, and Worzalla now once again going for that elbow drop, but it was unable to get it as Mr. Adams got to his feet too soon. He certainly knew the risk. Worzalla taking the long way home with that elbow drop hold. 1, 2. It's not enough. So Warzalla's, well, it looked like he was winding up for another elbow drop hold, but elects to tag Sterling in as Worzalla can take a break on the outside. As he might be out of elbow drop juice as he brings his partner into this match. Sterling hitting the big fire against his opponent. Mr. Adams shot into the corner turnbuckle, but he's shot into his own turnbuckle. Mr. Adams in perfect position to deliver something, but Sterling able to get out of the way. Jumping pile driver from Mr. Smith. Goes for the cover. Gets 2 out of it. And choke slams in stereo. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Not quite enough.
Like the sheer resiliency out of the firm.
And these men are certainly not making it easy. Big tombstone pile driver from Sterling, and Sterling going back to his own corner. And once again, double power bomb. Worzalla shooting Mr. Smith into the corner turnbuckle, this time into his own turnbuckle. But Mr. Smith able to reverse, hits that big lariat and gets back to his own corner. And Worzalla in a 2-on-1 situation. As the firm just I say that, Worzalla powering back with those 100 hand slaps, but too close to the firm's corner. Ooh, big belly to belly. It looks like Worzalla is setting up for another elbow drop hold. Goes for the cover, but it is immediately in front of Mr. Smith.
They're definitely just wanting the match over at this point.
That is almost certainly the case. And looks like Worzalla is going.
It's like both teams wrestling for close to 20 minutes. You know they're getting tired, but they're both in it for the win.
Yeah, wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, big ass backbreaker.
Gotta say, excellent teamwork from the firm, keeping one another fresh, tagging frequently. As making it very difficult for the team of Sterling and Worzalla to really get sustained damage on anyone in particular. Ooh, big Emerald Flosion from Sterling. If he can get the cover here, this could be it. Moonsault, fall, 1, 2, 3 count, fall.
Mr. Adams clearly not happy about the result, kicking his opponent.
Yeah, a little bit of extracurricular action after the bell. But Sterling and Worzalla showing why they are the Blake's House Tag Team Champions. Defeating the Firm in a hard-fought contest. So, once again, we're going to try and keep things fresh for you guys. Showcase a variety of different match types and a variety of different matchups. I know you guys have seen a lot of this match type in particular over the last several weeks, but we are going to the Octagon. And it is going to be... Alfonso, who put on a pretty impressive display in the Shoot League earlier this month. Or this past month, rather. And he is facing Nikita Stalin, the shooter from Judgment Pro Wrestling. So let us see how this match plays out. Of course, we don't have extended entrances. I'm sure the folks at home are very familiar with Alfonso, but if you want to give a brief breakdown of Stalin as we go into this match, that would be great.
Of course. So Nikita Stalin, he's well-versed. He's ex-military. The man knows his submission holds. He knows how to take people down. And you should see some nice strikes out of this man. And you should see him trying to capitalize and take a hold of limbs and just end the match as quickly as possible. He's a no-nonsense character when it comes down to it, and the man is just going to go in for that kill.
Alright, I know I have characterized Alfonso as somebody that watched a lot of wrestling in the 90s, and he is very much trying this at home in 2019 as he hits the stunner on Stalin. Let's see, and he locks on the sharpshooter.
It's like a very interesting clash in styles with the man who watched a little too much pro wrestling and wanted to do everything he's seen versus the man who's literally just going to take you out.
Also to the gentleman in the chat, HG, yeah, we are doing this every Sunday night. It's an episodic series, so storylines will be carrying over from week to week. I certainly hope to see you watch this show through to the end and maybe become a regular viewer as the weeks go on. But see, it looks like we are about to come out of round one, and as is typically the case with these shoot fight matches in the Octagon, the first round is very much a feeling out process. Zoe hitting that stunner aside, there wasn't a whole lot of big moves from either party.
Agreed, as both parties get a little bit more exhausted, bigger moves are hit because more mistakes are made when you're exhausted. It's just a factor that you have to take in.
Stalin rolling Zoe up and just trying to crank his neck, just trying to slow him down, and a lot of knees to the gut, elbows to the face. Stalin is using that a very efficient military style that he is so well versed in to just try and slow Alfonso down. And Huggy Bear, I see you in the chat. Yeah, I probably should have set this to 5 rounds to just make it more likely that there would be a decisive victor, but that being said, it looks like we aren't going to need to go to 5 rounds. Alfonso taking it, hitting big move after big move in that second round. Just as we were saying that that first round was kind of a data round, it looks like Alfonso solved Stalin over the course of that first round and took him out very efficiently in that second round. So we are now tied 3 matches apiece, Blake's House Wrestling versus Judgment Pro Wrestling. So this has certainly become a much more interesting contest as we go into this next match.
Agreed.
And I gotta say, just as an aside, pulling back the curtain for a second, I don't know how these matches are gonna go. JB3 doesn't know how these matches are gonna go. We drew up a card that looked like would be pretty good matchups. The fact that we are 3-3, 6 matches in is pretty ideal, and not at all.
Kind of astonishing.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that's going to continue to be the case as tonight goes on, and you guys continue to get interesting matches and interesting matchups. And one such matchup we are going into right now, it is going to be Mr. Theme Song himself, Orlando Nunez. And he is going to be going up against us, man who has accrued a little bit of fame outside of the wrestling world as well. He is going to be going up against Jackal.
Yeah, pretty boy Jackal himself getting in the ring.
So,
it's like, for those that don't know who he is, I mean, well known for his gameplay, making Shao Kahn not suck in MK11. But more importantly, in a wrestling ring, the man, he is a bit of a submission expert, taking pieces from his boy Masa from Def Jam.
and of course, we can't understate his contributions to the Def Jam community. And actually, this is a great time to take a bit of a detour and talk about the Def Jam tournament at CEO. The weekend of I believe it's the 28th through the 30th in Daytona Beach, Florida. We are going to be having what is sure to be the biggest Def Jam Fight for New York tournament that has ever existed or will exist until next CEO. I'm sure you guys have seen Nightbot scrolling through, advertising the community-funded pot bonus. That will also point you to the Smash GG if you are going to be in the Daytona area that weekend and would like to participate. So please take the time, if you see that Nightbot scroll by with a link, check us out. But before you do that, let's go ahead and get into this match. And the reason why I'm going through this whole spiel now is so when I hit this button, we can hear Mr. Theme Song's own theme music produced by Maglo, who you will be seeing later on tonight.
I mean, I'll sit here and say it right now. If there's one thing Blake's house got right, it was that theme song.
Oh, absolutely. Like, what amazes me the most about it, and it's entirely coincidental, the beat drops when the pyro hits in Madison Square Garden, and it's just absolutely fantastic on every level. So, no, we talked a lot in the pregame about Jackal's accomplishments, both in the world of Def Jam Fight for New York and also in the world of fighting in general. Did not talk a lot about Mr. Theme Song's own abilities. Of course, he put on a strong showing in the Shoot League over the last month or so, but hasn't really been featured a great deal on Blake's House TV otherwise. This is going to be very similar to PJ King of Games, an opportunity for him to sort of prove himself in front of an audience in a standard wrestling match. But he is going to have to go through Jackal to do it.
Like, and we all know Jackal, you know, the big-time shit talker. The man himself is not going to make it easy on Orlando.
Absolutely not, and I'm sure Orlando wouldn't have it any other way, as both men are competitors at heart. Like, if I know Jackal would not be showing up to the various fighting events that he shows up to if he were not a competitor in his soul, and Orlando is built exactly the same. So I'm sure neither man wants an easy contest.
It's a very nice strike combination that Jackal did right before he got tossed.
Yep, and it looks like both these competitors are going strike for strike once again. And Orlando able to get the upper hand with that European uppercut. Ooh, big sweep, taking Orlando's leg out from under his leg, and once again targeting both the face and the legs of Orlando, just trying to pick him apart piece by piece. Orlando responding back with a crossface, and Jackal breaking the hold. Ooh, both men missing their mark with those diving strikes. Seems they both had the same idea at the same time, and it worked against them. Orlando, he was looking for this earlier, hits heavy rain. And locks on the figure four. There is supposed to be game audio. Is that not what's going on right now? Let's see. Are you guys getting no game audio, or are you getting low game audio?
They are getting none.
Let's see. Neat. Let's see. That is very low.
1, 2, 3.
Alright, that should be much better. So, let me know how this sounds for you guys. Alright. Big face buster from Jackal. And now it's Jackal's trying to stretch out Orlando. As Orlando hits that tackle. Ooh, perfect plex from Jackal, but caught up in the ropes. Orlando immediately breaks the hold, or Harada breaks the hold, rather. And Orlando once again attempting to hit that RK Orlando that he has won so many matches with. But there is that studying under Masa that has worked so well for Jackal thus far. That flying armbar. But it's Orlando working the arm now. Trying to take that power away from Jackal, which seems to be a big part of his own game plan.
Ooh, Jackal landing it. I believe he just landed his signature move, if I could actually see that correctly. Speed skipped just a little bit for me.
Ooh, once again taking Orlando's leg out from under his leg, and he locks on that Kimura again. But Orlando able to get to his feet. But Jackal continuing to target the arm. This is very reminiscent of the Willem Riska matches that we had in the Shoot League earlier, where it is just arm hold after arm hold, trying to tap Orlando out.
Like you're gonna have to wonder how much more of it he can take.
Big flashing elbow. Let's see, I've seen a couple people asking for NWO. There is one viewer's choice match tonight, and that is going to be the KOF TV title. I can certainly give NWO an opportunity to compete in that match, as this match is, or this card otherwise is strictly Judgment Pro Wrestling versus Blake's House Wrestling. So we can let some NWO guys get involved in that contest. Ooh, Orlando nearly pinned by that cocky pinfall that Jackal had. Ooh, big double leg from Orlando, but Jackal, an expert at fighting from and on the ground, as he's been applied so many submission holds, not allowing Orlando to get anything off of that double leg. Orlando going time and time again to that spine buster, but unable to really follow it up with anything. Oh, if Orlando can't... Oh, Orlando barely able to get his foot on the rope. That could have been it there.
As much as Jackal's been working his arm, you know he's close.
And Orlando just... The sheer resiliency of the man not tapping out to that rolling arm bar. Stormbreaker from Jackal. Jackal and Orlando both getting to their feet, but Orlando's out on his feet. Scorpion Death Drop right in the center of the ring. Goes for the cover. He just wants this match to be over. And his wish is granted. And Orlando, Nunez, and Jackal putting on a 5-star show for the viewers at home. Orlando narrowly escaping being submitted from Jackal, as Jackal had been working the arm that entire match. You've got to figure he was just 1 or 2 clean holds away from victory.
Agreed. Jackal was definitely going for that arm the entire match, and after so much strain, there's only so much a man can take.
But Orlando able to pull it out. And, all right, I see a lot of calls from the crowd. Let's go ahead and go into that viewer's choice match right now. Let's go ahead and get the KOF TV title. Of course, that is being defended with King of Fighters 11 rules, so there will be elimination, and there will be no cut play from the apron. So we have to put 3 challengers up against Team Fatal Fury. So let's go ahead and figure out who that's going to be. I saw a lot of calls for some NWO wrestlers. Of course, NWO referring to Nick's wrestling organization, not to be confused with the similarly named New World Order. So let's go ahead and pull this up. And let me know what you guys think. Who do you want to see in this match? It doesn't have to strictly be NWO guys, but I saw both Nick and Matt calling for some.
And while we are figuring out who's going to be a part of this match, you know, just to shout out the Matcherino, since it literally just came up in the chat with Nightbot.
Yeah,
for those of you who care about Def Jam Fight for New York, you know, CEO will have it. We will be on stream, and it's easily the biggest year yet. You all can make it bigger by going to the Matcherino and performing the free sponsor quests, though. Just to log in and perform all of the sponsor quests on the side. You will donate $370, as Nightbot said. Plus, if you use code DEFJAM at CEO, you will donate an extra 50 cents.
All right, we did get 3 names from the chat. We got a couple NWO wrestlers, and we got Matt Knapp as well. So that is a full team. So let's go ahead and jump into this match. And of course, JB3 telling you all where to go to contribute for the Def Jam Fight for New York community pot bonus. Of course, if you click that link, you will also see some merchandise that you can buy to both support the Def Jam Fight for New York community, as well as I think it looks pretty good on its own. I have bought 2 of those shirts. I'm gonna wear one of those around.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, let's jump right into this. And Nick, if you are watching in the chat, I did get your friend requests on Discord. Are you going to be able to commentate the match when that match comes up? We're a little bit past halfway through the show, but we got a lot more wrestling to do tonight. Man, look how the audience has turned. They were calling for this bear's head no more than a couple weeks ago, and now the crowd is just absolutely going nuts as this bear walks to the ring. All right, cool. Basically, I'm going to set it up exactly as I did with GK. I am going to invite you to a Discord call. I'm going to share screens with you because Twitch is going to be much heavier delayed than the feed from Discord. And then I'll just be bringing your audio into my stream through Discord is basically how that's going to work. But that is for much later on tonight. Right now, we have the King of Fighters TV title. As per the rules of the television title, this championship is defended on every show. So despite this being the Judgment Pro Wrestling and Blake's House Wrestling cross-promotional events, we are seeing Team Fatal Fury defending their championship against a team selected by the audience. And right now it is Bend Over against Rock Howard. Rock Howard, a fast striker, was extremely threatening, both from his quick strikes as well as his ability to counter. But right now he has been in control, hasn't really had any need to counter any of his opponent's strikes. As he tags his dad in on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to Terry Bogard, ladies and gentlemen, as he fights a match with his son, Rock Howard.
Terry Bogard, who has literally been a nightmare for opposing teams in this title match. We're going to see if he continues that today.
Right. Terry Bogard's certainly a nightmare, but we can't count out the oddball of Team Fatal Fury, Duck King, who, as the sole survivor last week, managed to defend their championship, who we have not seen a lot of in this contest thus far.
Agreed.
But despite the combat prowess of Team Fatal Fury, the wild card has got to be the actual factual bear on the Blue Gatorade team, as he has proven to be a monster in a wrestling ring. But hasn't really got too involved over the course of this match. Oh, over hitting Rock Howard with a good lucha thing. But Howard responding back with a slam of his own. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the bear that you all wanted to see, going once again one-on-one with Rock Howard. And Rock Howard holding his own quite effectively. And there is Bear hitting his signature hold, the regular hug. And those massive bear paws striking Terry Bogard, those hands of his larger than Terry's head. When balled up into a fist, their force is absolutely tremendous. Precision haymaker finds its mark right in the head of Rock Howard. Northern Lights right into an armbar. And Howard breaks the hold nearly immediately. And Dover responds back by locking on another hold elsewhere on his body. If that is going to be how Ben Dover is going to fight in this contest, you're going to have to defend yourself from all angles. But likewise is going to be the case with Duck King, as he is such an unorthodox fighter. You are not going to know where he's going to come from next. And there is one such instance of Duck King. 2.9. Of course, we can't forget about Matt Knapp and his signature vice grip that has ended so many matches. But it looks like we are going to have to wait on that, as Bear is going toe-to-toe with Duck King. A battle of the animal kingdom. And for my money, it's Bear beats Duck about 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, you said that right. There's that signature hold we're so used to seeing.
Yeah, that
I'm a bear.
Yeah, that mounted sleeper is just absolutely devastating. But Terry evening the odds, allowing Rock Howard to hit a crack shot.
Getting that #1 dad award right there.
Despite that brief advantage that he has allowed Rock Howard, Bear is still pressing. And because of that, Rock bringing Terry in to finish this fight, but Bear electing to take a bit of a breather, and it seems as though he doesn't need to carry this match on his back, as Ben Dover is able to handle his own just fine. But it looks like Terry running the ropes. Big sit-out lariat. Ben Dover just showing his extreme technical prowess. He is stretching and bending body parts in ways they were absolutely not made to move. And we're seeing that time and time again as he just locks on a hold from any way he can, and Duck King responds back with a super kick. And once again, we go back to Bear versus Duck. Rock Howard, power dunk off the top. And Rock is absolutely dazed by those punches. He responds back with repeated knees to the crown of the head, and Bear's skulls are so thick, it's like armor trying to kick through that. But Rock refusing to be submitted, so I'm a Bear bringing him back to his own corner, the blue Gatorade corner. And bringing Matt back into this contest. We'll see if he can hit that patented vice grip. But Rock Howard with that crack counter going back to his own corner, bringing Terry Bogard back into this contest. Matt showing us that, yes, he is still an amateur wrestler despite all of his antics and hits that mount tackle extremely effectively. Terry once again going up top. Power dunk right into the leg. And Terry attacking the other leg, possibly trying to slow Matt Knapp down. Big crack shot from Terry Bogard. Looks like Terry's going to run the ropes. And a burning knuckle off the ropes. Terry hitting with that standing CD. Matt is completely outmatched here. So he tags out to the superior competitor, the ultimate athlete in this contest, a Bear. But I'm a Bear, the first elimination for Team Fatal Fury, the Bear that was so deadly in previous contests, is the first man out for the Team Blue Gatorade.
It's like safe prediction is, you know, the team that's held the title is just going to keep it, because if past weeks have shown anything, you know, once you get that ball rolling, the rest of the pieces fall into place very quickly.
That's certainly been the case, especially with the early history of this title, where every single victory was an OCV. The last couple weeks, that has not necessarily been the case, as it has gone down to Soul Survivor versus Soul Survivor, but Team Fatal Fury was able to defend this title twice already. Oh my god, that belly-to-belly overhead suplex from the top rope was absolutely brutal. So this match is not over yet. And just as I say that, Matt is the sole survivor against Team Fatal Fury. And it's possibly a commentator's curse situation, as it's starting to go down exactly as you said, where it's kind of been an avalanche in favor of Team Fatal Fury from that first elimination. But,
And just as you say that,
yeah, Matt getting his first elimination. Big dive kick, that jumping D from Duck King. And Matt has gone the distance. It is Soul Survivor versus Soul Survivor. Matthew Knapp, Terry Bogard. This could go any which way, and there's that vice grip that Matt uses so effectively, but Terry able to get a hand on the ropes. That could have been it.
yep. Now, the real question here is, when Terry gets going, is he going to remember that he's in the middle of a ring?
It doesn't matter, as Matt with the reverse OCV, winning the match as the sole survivor against all three members of Team Fatal Fury.
Now, we knew this was going to happen eventually, because while the TV titles, or the KOF TV title, is not as cursed as it once was, it is bound to change hands.
Yeah, but I feel like that is the charm of this championship, as you are going to get exciting matches with different teams every week, and you only need to win one match. So, yeah, congratulations to our new champions. Nick's Wrestling Organization coming out strong with I'm a Bear and Bend Over, sending two great competitors. And, of course, Blake's House's own Matthew Knapp. They are your new King of Fighters TV champions. Yeah, and it is unfortunate Terry Bogard losing on Father's Day. That's some WWE-ass booking. Like, you're wrestling with your son and you lose on Father's Day. Alright, so let me change this back from KOF rules to regular rules, because there will be another tag match later tonight. But before we do that, we have some more Blake's House versus Judgment Pro Wrestling matches going on. Let's see. And this is going to be Eric Alpizar, your Shoot League champion. Won that match last week against two-time Olympic champion Willem Ruska. And he is going up against Joey Bagi. And this is going to be, I think, the interesting aspect of this match. This is going to be sponsored player versus sponsored player. Of course, Eric Alpizar competing in Dragon Ball FighterZ for Full Sail. And if you want to go on about Joey's accomplishments in games, I believe there's a little bit of synchronicity in this matchup here.
Yeah, no, I mean, Joey with Team Unbroken has placed second multiple times in Def Jam, and we know he's shooting for that #1 spot this time around. But otherwise, he recently won his local MK11 tournament, and just generally in the ring, the man is a showman. He's a nightmare, and we will see how that plays out when he comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, the main event is going to be me and JBIII. Like, it was kind of a, like, the more I thought about it, that is some egotistical ass booking. Have promoter versus promoter be the main event. But it was announced last week as the main event, so that's what we're doing. But, you know, we've got a lot of wrestling ahead here. And, yeah, I believe JB3 put on Joey's accomplishments. He's certainly effective in multiple avenues of competition and is certainly a threat in the wrestling ring. Eric Alpizar, of course, has multiple top 3 finishes at the local level in Dragon Ball FighterZ. As previously stated, is competing for Full Sail. You can see him rocking his Full Sail Armada jersey. And is accomplished in the Blake's House ring as well, as he is a current champion. But he is going to have to go through the educated feet of Joey Bagi in order to win this match. But Eric, with a level of education of his own of his feet, just peppering Joey with strikes, but Joey is responding back. And a lot of back and forth, but that is to be expected from two titans of the ring. Appreciate you, Jamel. Matt is actually watching at home, so he got to see live where he is a current champion in Blake's House Wrestling. Big Pele kick from Alpizar. And as has been the case so many times tonight, that early phase of the match is that feeling out progress. Oh my god, big moonsault fall from Joey. And getting a 1 count even early, just possibly surprising Alpizar with that. But yeah, this early phases of the match, neither man really able to get the upper hand. Ooh, Eric with that big strike combination. That could be that big move that he needed to get out on the top. Big wheel kick from Alpizar. And Alpizar showing us why he is the shooter champion. As I know we put on his accomplishments in the video game world a great deal, but it is not to be understated. He is a shoot taekwondo, or he's a shoot. Actually, I don't know what the noun for taekwondo practitioner, but he does that, is the thing that he does. But Joey just putting all of that aside and locking on the sharpshooter, trying to take Eric's legs out of him.
Yeah, did it dead center of the ring too.
And
no way he was getting out of that.
certainly not to the ropes. Ooh, there's that masterful strike combination and into another moonsault, and nearly gets one over on Alpizar. And Joey just going back to back with those moonsaults. And body slam center of the ring. Joey setting up for something. Rebound, springboard, elbow, dead center in the ring. But he's not done yet.
Joey always about entertaining the crowd while inflicting that damage.
Yeah, that is certainly how I would describe Joey. He is absolutely an entertainer. And certainly a factor in him getting picked up by his sponsor, as certainly can't understate his victories in tournament, but he is also entertaining while he's doing it.
Like, to give some context, the man at the local he just won mercied the person in grand finals before finishing the match. He gave him a second chance to win that before ending it. And it's because Joey was wanting to put on a show.
I mean, the people watching at home and the people live in attendance can certainly appreciate it, but that is a dangerous risk, and despite that, there's that super kick that I know Joey has just loaded at all times.
Oh yeah. You see it so much that you might call it deja vu.
And there it is again, and once again going to that moonsault cover. And that's gonna do it. Joey picking up the win. And that, I believe, is going to put tonight's show 4-on-4. We are once again all tied up. But let's go ahead and keep this show rolling. I see both James and Hsien-Jo in the back. They have been waiting to compete in their match. So let's go ahead and give them that opportunity right now. It is going to be Blake's House's own Slam Channel 5. Let's see. We need to get James in here. And they are going to be competing against the Pearlman brothers of Judgment Pro Wrestling. So let's go ahead and get right into this match. Of course, Slam Channel 5 does not need a lot of introduction. Jamel, of course, winning back the Blake's House Championship against Antonov, and both of these men putting on a barn burner of a contest against the current tag team champions. Both of them individually are a absolutely terrifying threat, and together they are just an absolute force of nature. But I will go ahead and let JBIII of Judgment Pro Wrestling tell you guys about the Pearlman brothers.
Well, the Pearlman brothers, as you can guess, are brothers, and they were extremely fond of the Hardy Boys. And you will see a lot of inspired attacks and just performance based off what the Hardy Boys have done, but don't let that get you fooled. Both Ryan and Josh have a little bit of their own flavor to their moves.
Well, we are going to see just what differs from their style, but right now they have to go against a mountain of a man in Hsien-Jo. Big back elbow. As he's gonna slow it down, brother. Going to that chin lock. And I was about to say, great ring awareness from Jamel, trying to cut his opponent off, but was unable to keep that tag from being made. Jamel just, as I said, he's an absolute powerhouse, but it is power against speed. If the Pearlmans can get around those big moves of his and start working offense of their own, it is going to be difficult for Hsien-Jo to keep up. And it looks like he has answered that question by tagging to his faster partner. That would be Holloway, who is, of course, trained in Mexico, wrestles the lucha style and does it very effectively. Ooh, big drop kick to knee, kicking his leg out from under his leg.
Josh returning the favor with his own drop kick.
And Josh in control right now, that big monkey flip. And so much so that it has pushed James to his own corner, but despite that, Jamel unable to get started so far. And there we see just another staple of Judgment Pro Wrestling's tag team division. Those frequent tags, keeping each other fresh over the course of this match. Like, it is excellent tag team wrestling. Big guillotine. Jamel being denied that backdrop. Flash roll up, but right into the blue Gatorade corner. Big tombstone pile driver, but was about to say James not having his eyes on his opponent, Josh, but able to handle him as well at this stage of the match. And there is that patented lucha style. Ooh, that Inferno kick from Holloway. And Jamel not even coming in to make the cutoff, and that could have cost his team. But Jamel saying it's over anyway. Now, I'd say, despite their standing in this match, the Pearlman brothers are the more coordinated team. Like, certainly Hsien-Jo and Holloway are dominant singles performers, but they are two singles performers kind of thrown together. So eventually you've got to figure that superior teamwork is going to come into play at some point in this match. Looks like Jamel's going for that ultimate Space Jam. And he hits it. It's still not enough, though. Blue Thunder Bomb, but there is that teamwork of the Pearlmans coming into play, able to make the cutoff when they need to. Ooh. Big drop kick to knee, kicking Josh's leg out from under his leg. But unable to capitalize. And now Josh has started slugging it out with Holloway. It looks like Holloway is to his feet first, and he's going back to his own corner, bringing the powerhouse back into this match. Hsien-Jo once again calling for the end. Going up top. Big body splash, but too close to the ropes. Jamel may be a little bit overeager to finish this match. For everything that Hsien-Jo and Holloway have done, it hasn't been enough to put the Pearlmans away. He did the deal. Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow. And the Falcon Arrow kicked out of at 2.9.
2, 3, 4, 5,
I don't know who to follow here.
7,
Well, you've got Josh on the outside.
9,
Just landed a leg drop and then a drop kick. And it looked like we had a muscle buster from Hsien-Jo.
Yeah, Hsien-Jo not even legal at this point. But it looks like Holloway will bring him in and attempt to allow him to continue that offensive momentum. Jamel out on his feet. Big DDT right in the middle of the ring, and excellent strategy by the Pearlman brothers, bringing this fight back to their own corner. Frankensteiner off the top. That's huge.
Like, definitely starting to see some heavy offense by the Pearlman brothers.
Absolutely. Like, I was going to say, this is the... Oh, man, immediately off the ropes. There is that well-conditioned teamwork that you have seen from this team, and the reason why they are still alive in this match.
Ryan hitting the twist of fate in the middle, though.
They're going double team in the corner. What are they setting up for? Tower of Doom by Slam Channel 5. Followed by a big Inferno kick from Holloway.
Josh playing it smart, though. Knocked his opponent down, then...
Oh, that was nearly it. And that implant DDT has been used to such great effect over the course of this match. And now neither team are playing any games. As soon as anyone is in a pinning predicament or a submission hold, it is immediately leaving the apron and trying to make the save.
Twist of fate into the peril bomb. Ooh.
James pushing his opponent back, and you know that's not what he wants when he wants to hit that 450 off the top. But he's not going to get the opportunity as both teams tagging out to a fresher competitor.
Both teams coming in the ring, throwing a little chaos around.
Yeah, I think at this point, Hirooki is done trying to keep hold of this match. He's just going to let these guys fight it out. Ooh, a bit of miscommunication from Slam Channel 5. Once again, that is... This team has really only worked one match together as a tag team. And there's that inexperience working against them. And this match absolutely will not be won near the center line or near your opponent's corner. It's just going to be too easy for either side to go and make a save. It is going to be about who can make the fight happen where your team needs it to happen to get a victory, and neither side has been able to do that. Of course, it could also be a situation where both teams are maybe one clean move away from victory, as they can hit their finish and make Hirooki throw up the X right there. Ooh, a rare miscue from the Pearlmans there. Something you do not expect to see from such a seasoned tag team. But it could just be the length of this match. Fatigue starting to set in. You lose track of where you and your partner are. And that is what caused that misstep. And you know Holloway wants to get his opponent down at this side of the ring. Allow himself to hit that Persona 450. But he's elected that he is too far away from the corner post possibly to hit that maneuver he wants to. And that's giving the Pearlmans an opportunity to tag out and bring a fresh man in. Jamel barely able to get across the desert and make that save. Ooh, that guillotine right in the center of the ring.
Like, I know Josh has been looking for it. You gotta wonder if he's ever gonna get that Irish whip to the ropes to see if he can land his finishing move.
Yeah, aside from one Ultimate Space Jam and one Catatonic Bomb, this match has been pretty light on finishing holds. Neither side really giving their opponents an opportunity to hit it, which is credit to both teams' strategy and preparedness to come into this match.
6, 7, 8,
Seeing a lot of jumping maneuvers. Oh no.
It looks like it's going to be Jamel finally able to get back into the ring, but he is met immediately with Josh.
Slugging it out in that corner.
And ooh, big double drop kick. Ooh, complete shot right in the orange Gatorade corner, but unable to capitalize further. And Jamel able to escape to his own corner, and once again, this match will continue. And once again, another blue Thunder Bomb, but too close to the Judgment Pro Wrestling corner. And we are once again going to be slugging it out. This time in the Blake's House corner. Big super kick. And there is the Persona 450. That signature hold of Holloway, but it was too close to the ropes. That was probably the best opportunity that they've had to win this match, but just unable to get it, as it was just a couple inches too close to the corner. Big pile driver. Jamel going for the cover. That's got to be it. This match has been going on so long. And it very much was. Whoever can get into an advantageous position in your own corner, because both teams were so ready to leap off the apron and make the save. It was just about making the fight happen where you needed it to happen.
Gotta give credit to both teams, though. Nobody gave an inch in that match.
Absolutely not. And I think the story that we thought it was going to tell going into the match really shined through. It was two standout individual competitors against a well-conditioned, well-prepared team, and you saw the strengths and weaknesses of both of those styles clash against one another. And it was Slam Channel 5 that was able to come out with the victory in this contest. So we are getting into the very end of this card here. Just a few matches to go. Of course, we have tonight's main event. It is going to be promoter versus promoter, Princler and John Bagi III. You have been hearing both of us on commentary all night. We are going to have a match to decisively decide which one of us are the better competitor, but we do have 2 more matches before we get into that. Of course, you've been seeing both of these guys quite a bit. COLBY, who has been on his Japanese excursion for the past several weeks, he is joining us tonight, and he will be competing against one of the champions. Not literally in the sense that he is holding championship gold, but certainly a competitor that Judgment Pro Wrestling likes to put out as a bit of an enforcer. And of course, I mean the Gatekeeper. I suppose we don't need to talk this matchup a whole lot further. Let's go ahead and get straight into this match.
Like, both men titans in their own right, but when it comes down to it, we've seen the Gatekeeper come out and just completely blow things up.
Yeah, of course, COLBY having a bit of a rocky start at the start of his Japanese excursion, but started to turn things around in those last couple of weeks. I think he has peaked exactly where he needed to prepare himself for this match. Of course, if we want to talk styles, both men are very rough competitors. Both men absolute powerhouses, the size advantage, of course, going to the Gatekeeper. But COLBY can never be counted out. He is a man that will kick out of pinning predicaments just from his own anger alone and deliver that atomic lariat with such force that can end matches on its own. But that is not to undersell the Gatekeeper's own achievements and wrestling ability, as he's starting off strong in this match.
As the Gatekeeper normally does, he tends to come out extremely strong and whittle down the opponent early. The thing with COLBY is, and we've seen it, is when the man gets beat up, he can tend to come back from it.
Yeah, and that is exactly what I mean by using his rage to kick out of those pinning predicaments and just seeming to get a reserve of energy that you don't know quite where it comes from.
So it really comes down to which will win it. A sheer immovable object or an unstoppable force.
Big flapjack from the Gatekeeper, just planting COLBY into the mat.
Like, and you know that hurts. As big as the Gatekeeper is, you're going really high when he does that.
It's both the height of the Gatekeeper and the weight of COLBY kind of working against him in both ways. And there's that patented brawling style that we know from COLBY, going for those mounted punches and following up with those heavy right and left hands. But Gatekeeper not allowing him to stay on him for very long. He powers out of those holds very quickly.
Sheer size of the Gatekeeper coming down on the back of COLBY right there.
Oh my god, just a mountain of a man coming off the second rope and splashing down onto COLBY. COLBY barely able to kick out. And I think that is the moment where COLBY realized exactly what he is up against, if it wasn't clear for the first 5 minutes of this match. Ooh, there is COLBY's signature punch handle slam. And now COLBY getting a 2 count. COLBY now going once again to those mounted punches. And Gatekeeper again, that avalanche off the second. Once again getting a 2 count out of it, and COLBY's looking a little bit winded as that absolutely massive individual just crashing down on his chest and stomach. I can certainly understand why.
We're going for a third one. It's like despite the work that COLBY has put in, like it seems like the Gatekeeper is kind of playing with his food a bit, using that maneuver to try to get the pinfall.
Despite that maybe not being one of his most effective offensive techniques, it is certainly extremely dangerous, just with the sheer size and weight crashing down from the second rope like that. It is
Agreed.
Definitely an effective offensive maneuver if it's intended to be or not. Ooh, another big body splash, this time off the mat. And again, another 2.9. COLBY is just trying to fight his way out of this situation, and he's having a great deal of difficulty against the Gatekeeper.
Yeah, but this is where we know that COLBY can turn it around, so the Gatekeeper still has to watch his ass during this.
Absolutely does, but massive power bomb from the Gatekeeper.
Oh, that entry denial bomb.
It's not quite enough. COLBY, I've said it time and time again, he can kick out of these pinning predicaments off of his anger and adrenaline alone, and he was able to do so and get a pin with that pump handle slam, but Gatekeeper...
Oh, no, we're going for another.
And 3 count fall right onto the Judgment Pro Wrestling logo.
The enforcer doing his work, making a statement, planting Blake's House own on the JPW symbol.
And COLBY being denied an opportunity to hit that atomic lariat that has ended so many matches. And that has to be a credit to the strategy of the Gatekeeper. Like, certainly a powerhouse of a wrestler, but if you're not letting your opponent hit their most effective offensive maneuver, you have a massive advantage in that match. And I believe we are all tied up here. We have 2 matches to go. So let's go ahead and get straight into those now. Of course, we have the fan favorite, Maglo. And he is going against the current champion of Judgment Pro Wrestling, A-Man. So let's go ahead and jump right into this match. Maglo, of course, needing very little introduction. Maglo a staple in the Blake's House wrestling world. He is a former Blake's House champion. He is the man that has defended the squared circle with the Maglo Open Challenge week after week, as well as been touring around Florida and around the United States with his musical act. The people live in attendance and the people watching at home, you know him, you love him, the Maglo.
And of course, for any JPW fans, you know A-Man. He could be any man, but he's his own man. And that's how he became the JPW champion. He worked his ass off and steamrolled the competition when it came to earning that title. And we're going to see that here tonight. That's for damn sure.
And it is certainly going to be a challenge. Now, Maglo is no stranger to adversity, as he fought both Austin Walker and Bruce Lee on the same night last week. And he put up a good fight against Austin Walker, but of course coming immediately off of that match and fighting Bruce Lee, his second match was significantly less effective, but we'll see how...
hopefully he's recovered from the Bruce Lee excursion.
Yeah, we can only hope. As Maglo will be given no quarter from A-Man, Judgment Pro Wrestling's champion. And I don't think Maglo would have it any other way. As I think we said it earlier in the Orlando Nunez Jackal match, like, you don't want your opponent to give you the match. Like, you want to earn it against a competitor that wants it as bad as you do, and I believe both of these men stand for that.
Agreed.
Ooh, big back elbow, but Maglo able to roll out of the way as A-Man crashes to the ground. And that Hanma headbutt, one of Maglo's signature moves, and Maglo starting to get things going, hitting that patented spinning toe hold. Ooh, that big turnaround lariat from A-Man starting to get things going on his foot. Ooh, sidesteps that spear, barely. Oh, and there's that drop kick. Maglo's been charging that for 4 minutes 30. Maglo hitting his other signature hold, that patented airplane spin, making sure the fans in the front row all the way to the back can see it. Oh, and this time it's A-Man rolling out of the way of a diving elbow drop. So Maglo will try again, and this one hitting its mark right in the center of his back. Maglo holding court all alone in the center of the ring as he waits for A-Man to return. Both men just kind of slugging it out here. And A-Man once again rolling out of the way of that diving elbow. It's going to be a chore for both of these men to hit maneuvers like that, as both of them are so strong-willed, want to avoid those attacks at any cost. But A-Man able to hit that double stomp off the top. And this time the elbow drop finds its mark.
Honestly, it's impressive at A-Man's size that he is able to climb the rope so efficiently and then, you know, just do those maneuvers. Sure, they're not complex, but you don't see guys that size normally attempting to do that.
Yeah, and that is a credit to his wrestling ability. And just moments ago, we saw Maglo hit the clothesline from Bretton Woods, but unable to get more than a 2 count out of that combination of maneuvers. Ooh, A-Man hitting that big body splash that he's so well known for. And
Oh
hits,
yes, definitely one of his signature moves.
and responds back with a head hold lariat of his own, taunting the man from Bretton Woods, but the Duke hitting the clothesline from Bretton Woods once again and getting 2.9 out of it. And it is just head hold lariat for head hold lariat. And A-Man again going for those back elbows. And this time Maglo worn down enough to where they are able to hit, and now it is A-Man all alone in the center of the ring.
Yep, recovering, waiting for Maglo to come to him.
And Maglo missing that drop kick that he'd been holding for another 5 minutes. And A-Man hitting with that freak accident. Possibly have another name for it in Judgment Pro Wrestling, but that vicious slam of his and putting Maglo down for the 3 count fall. So that is the final match before tonight's main event. So GK, I'm going to go ahead and send you to the back to get changed and prepared for your match. I'm going to have to do the same once I get a commentator ready for to call our match, because I have to get ready as well.
All right, sounds good.
Let's see here. So give me just a moment. Let me go ahead and put up the graphic that is going to be for our next match, and give me just a moment to set that up. Let us see here. So we are currently 6-5, I believe. So this is going to be the decisive match. Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, excellent. Go ahead. Let me go ahead and start sharing screen with you. You're going to be good to call this?
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man. All right, just to be clear, you're going to be behind the stream by about a second. So, like, if you're not going to be doing, like, I know you guys can't hear Nick. He's not audible in this screen. He will be once I switch back to Fire Pro. So, like, play-by-play is going to be a bit difficult, but if you want to do color and talk about, like, stuff that has happened moments ago, it's just going to be hard to call, like, exactly moment to moment.
Is it like a second behind or like 5 or 10?
It's less than 2 for sure. Like, it's
It'll be like doing live, like how they do at WWE.
All right.
Because I gotta watch their monitor, so.
Okay. Then, yeah, we're going to be good. Let me go ahead and put Fire Pro back on. So, Nick, if you want to say hi to the stream, you are now live.
I'm Blake.
And, let's see. Let me see if I can raise him up any. Let me see. Yeah, I can raise him up a lot. I'm just going to fucking... Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to bail out here as I have to get ready for my match, so let me go ahead and queue this up. Let's see. Oops, way past that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to click on. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's right there. Alright, so this is going to be all you. I'm signing off. I've got to get ready for my match, and I will get back on the mic shortly after this match wraps up.
Sounds good, man. All right. Princler is the fairest of them all. Fact. Jamal, is my level better now, or is it still kind of low? Okay, cool. Right, so promoter versus promoter, we got Princler versus John here. Quick Dragons 3 to start things off. And John's already not playing fair with raking him in the eyes. Princler just got stomped in the nuts, so not a great start. Raking him in the eyes again. I don't know if Harada's ever going to stop this. Loses the battle of strength and a headbutt for his time. Oh, and Chris comes back with a drop to a hold of his own. There's some bad blood between these two guys. A lot of circling. There's a lot of walking. Wasting all of that energy. A big old kick in the stomach. Awesome. Kick to the gut. Wonder what's online for this fight. The whole promotion, probably. Slugging it out. And Princler got the better of that exchange. Went to go for probably that flashing elbow. John Bagi got up beforehand. Throws him into the ropes. It's countered. Another low blow. What is this ref doing? Dropping knees to the back of John Bagi's head. And John Bagi just punched him in the dick yet again. One. Just a one count. Good to go. Choke him on the ground now. Knows he has to let that hold up at 4. Princler really needs to make a move here. Ooh. Nice back elbow. Briscoe choose to work the arm a little bit. Probably should help with all those dick punches. I don't know. I honestly don't know if this is legal. There's a lot of heel tactics up in this match. I'll be surprised if Princler can see after this match with all the face raking and eye gouging. Let alone have kids with how many times he's been punched in the dick. My God. Princler needs to get up and do something. Another low blow. Bagi is known for his underhanded heel tactics. That man's not above cheating to get a win. And at this point, I'm going to say that Princler has no more testicles at all. Completely gone. Scrupulous individual Bagi doesn't want to just beat Chris Princler, wants to rip his dick off. Of course, is still deciding to work that arm, hopefully help lessen the power of those dick punches. There's a lot of circling in this match, though. Hopefully, Princler can get an upper hand. And that was brass knuckles to the face. That's the end of the match. Under 12 minutes, new record. The most unfair match I've seen in my entire life. Boo this man. Boo him. Well, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do now. Chris Princler's knocked out, and looks like JB3 won.
All right. As I said during my promo, everyone's got a loophole.
Ugh. Yeah. Well, JB3, I'd say you fought admirably, but I don't know if I can, in good conscience, say you've done that, but you pinned me square in the center of the ring, 1, 2, 3. Harada called it. Congratulations to you.
Well, thank you, and like we talked about that bet, all these good people get to see the results of that in the coming weeks.
All right. Let's see. We do have one dark match to play out before we go off air, but officially that is the end of the Blake's House Judgment Pro Wrestling crossover show. I know we will be... This is not going to be the last we have seen from Judgment Pro Wrestling, but next week we do have another special for you guys. It is going to be the Def Jam themed show to help promote Def Jam at CEO, which is going to be the next big promotional push we want to make. That is part of the reason why it's going to be Hugo versus Shaniqua in the dark match. As we roll the Def Jam fighter, we're going to let that go ahead and play out. But officially we are off air, just kind of in bullshit mode, so I'm going to turn you down in my headphones a little bit because the solution was to like crank it in my earpieces. So you're going to be a little bit lower for the audience, but still should be audible.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I gotta say, like, as far as proof of concept goes, dual booth seems pretty doable. I could tell, like, it is hard for you to do live play-by-play just because of the nature of the delay from the screen share. But definitely you want to do more dual booth, like, cross-promotion events, because I know, Nick, you're hanging out in the chat. We can do some stuff with Nick's wrestling organization now that this Invasion arc is unofficially wrapped up. I'm sure there will be more stuff from the Judgment Pro Wrestling guys moving forward. But,
oh yeah, we will definitely be around.
So, yeah, appreciate you stopping by and doing guest commentary on kind of short notice, Nick. And appreciate you. And as I understand it, you have a little bit of a viewing party going on at your place. So appreciate you showing off the match and showing off the show. Hugo, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been on Blake's House TV, and I'm certain this is Shaniqua's first outing on Blake's House TV. Shaniqua, of course, somebody that jumped up to the top tier of Def Jam Fight for New York, just out of that raw punching power that nobody knew she had.
Yeah, that, and she's basically a female version of David Banner. I mean, that alone gives cause for concern.
Right. But right now she is struggling against Hugo. As Hugo is just delivering hanging choke after hanging choke. And yeah, Nick, like, no major complaints about your commentary. Like, I could tell you were fighting with delay and probably, like, a bit glitchy streams, because I know sometimes the screen share just like, oh, we're just gonna be buffering and not watchable for a little bit. So, with what you had to work with, man, I appreciate you doing solo commentary.
it was definitely good biased commentary because you could tell that man did not want me to win.
Yeah. I mean, I also didn't want you to win, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, you were in the match.
But, you know, there is only so many low blows and thumbs to the eyes that you can take over the course of one wrestling match.
Oh, yeah. So they're just gonna fight outside the ring like that. Neat.
Yeah. I would absolutely love to see a double count out in one of these matches. I also need to remember to set 60-minute time limit draw, because some of those matches feel like they could go there. Particularly the Pearlman Brothers versus Slam Channel 5. Like, that match felt like it could have gone on forever.
Actually, I had a tag team match with the Pearlman Brothers and the Firm go on for over an hour. So...
Yeah.
It is a very real possibility.
Yeah, so it kind of works in the favor of, one, the audience is not stuck watching a non-title match for, like, potentially an hour and a half on the in-game clock. And also, like, you know, this match with a 60-minute time limit is scheduled for one fall. Just has a nice ring to it. And I will have to figure out what I actually want to do with the Def Jam themed show, aside from aggressively promoting the CEO tournament and featuring a bunch of Def Jam guys on the show. I think that's basically going to be the long and short of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot more that you can do with it, like, short of, well, it's next weekend, so depending on when JBIII gets the schedule out, we might be able to do a little bit more with it.
True. Well, I mean, I've got to figure the final CEO schedules have to be pretty close to done, because I think signups are closed. And actually, Blake has a pretty good idea. I did a tag team tournament on stream where it was going to be like the real people of Blake's house tagging with like a non-wrestler fictional character. We could have a tournament where it's us tagging with the characters we play in Def Jam as part of the Def Jam theme show. Because we have enough Def Jam players between your promotion and like a handful of guys in Blake's house that either currently play or have played at one time.
That's definitely not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that might be the way to go, or at least maybe not for the whole show, but a feature on the show.
Agreed.
And Hugo takes it with a 3-count fall over Shaniqua. So Def Jam going into the Def Jam themed show with a little bit less momentum than they had, but as I said earlier, it is going to be full steam ahead on the promotion of the Def Jam at CEO event. I'm sure you guys have seen the Nightbot scrolling by. I have mentioned it a couple of times. GK has mentioned it a couple of times. Please do click that link. Promote the Def Jam community-funded pot bonus. As well as, if you go to that link, that will point you to the Smash GG page of the Def Jam CEO side tournament. If you are going to be in Daytona Beach on the weekend of the 28th, please sign up and participate. We would love to have you.
Oh yeah, the more the merrier.
And saw a lot of new faces tonight in the chat, as well as basically all of the regulars and some of their friends as well. I appreciate anybody coming in to watch my show. This is, of course, a weekly show starting roughly 7 o'clock Eastern on Sunday nights. So I hope to see all of you, and please tell your friends, let them know that we have one of the best weekly wrestling shows that you're going to see on Twitch.tv. And with that, I believe I am going to sign off and hope to see you guys next week.